Welcome to Entrepreneur, a podcast for entrepreneurs and leaders doing business and life God's way. Each week, we discuss biblical and practical tips to improve your mind, business, spirit, relationships, and finances. Listen along as I speak with special guests on how to thrive in all aspects of life. Hi, I'm Edna. Like many of you, I wear many hats. I'm a military wife, mother, author, certified John Maxwell business and executive coach, trainer, and founder of Favor and Wealth, where we help the good guys win. So tune in as we bring on the light. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Entrepreneur Podcast. This is Edna, and this is a podcast where we blend timeless wisdom with modern business strategies. I'm so excited you guys are tuning in today. This is going to be a very short, straight to the point podcast episode because I am doing this while the girls are napping and I am very limited on time, but I pray that it will be very beneficial. That is ultimately always my goal. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating topic, and it's 3 powerful tactics that motivate customers to buy, which are always inspired by biblical principles. Okay. Now, think about this, okay? Wooing customers is a bit like dating, right? You can't rush into a lifelong commitment right away. It's all about building that relationship one step at a time. Just like in dating, understanding your customer requires time and effort. Now, today we're going to explore how biblical strategies can guide us in this journey. Now, obviously, if it's just like something that's $5, $10, $20, $50, something easy, it really doesn't take much thinking, much relationship building, or sometimes it does, depending on, you know, who you are and the circumstances. But let's just picture this for more of a business to business approach or longer sales cycle type of stuff where it's involving more than, let's say, $500, for example. Okay. Um, and so the very first thing that I wanted to share, so we're going to talk about 3 tips. The first tip is forget about selling and focus on buying. Okay. Jesus in the Bible, exemplified servant leadership. He always focused on serving others. In marketing, this translates to understanding and serving the needs of your customers. Okay. So in Philippians chapter 2, verse 4, it says, let each of you not only look unto its own interests, but also to the interests of others. So just put it this way. When a customer typically walks into your business or they approach you, um, or they're contacting you, they're likely already considering a purchase. So your role is to be a guide, not a pusher, right? So you're supposed to guide them through the purchasing process. Again, we're going to talk about a different approach if they're not ready to buy and they're just browsing around. The fact is they're thinking about your product. For them to reach out to you, maybe they saw a post on social media, maybe they saw your advertisement in a magazine, maybe they heard you on a podcast or you were speaking at a conference. When they're reaching out to you, that means they're interested. So your goal isn't to push them to buy. Your goal is to guide them and help them navigate to the process of whether or not your product is the best product to buy, right? So you're more of a guide, not a pusher. I hope I'm making that point clear. So think of it this way, right? You got to ask yourself, what benefits is your customer seeking? What price range are they comfortable with? Remember, you're there to serve their needs, right? So it's all about thinking about them. Now, I can't tell you how many times I had people come up to me wanting to buy, and I just knew based on their life circumstances that it wouldn't be the perfect timing for them. Even though, yeah, I could easily take their money, but you could just sense that I didn't have peace about it. Does that make sense? So, as a believer, you have to be discerning and really think about the interest of your customers more than yourself. And like for example, if your customers are going to go in debt to purchase your service and they're already struggling financially, like that's not stewardship. So what you need to do as a believer and as a good steward of your customers, you let them know, hey, focus on what you need to do first, put that debt down, and go ahead and contact me when you're ready. Does that make sense? It's more about serving them before serving you. Okay. All right. So the second tip, in motivating customers to buy is to make purchasing a sure bet. Buying involves risk. Proverbs 11:1 teaches us that a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. This speaks to the heart of integrity in business. So, for example, and this is used a lot. They have like 30-day guarantee, 60-day guarantee, money back guarantee. Try it. Before you buy, free trials, those type of things. It when you do those type of guarantees, or like, you have nothing to lose but everything to gain, that reduces your customers' anxiety, right? So it's a sign of confidence in your product and integrity in your business, right? So for me, for example, I have a 30-day notice. That's it. Most of the time you have to, and I remember my husband was like, they need to pay for a year because you blocked out that certain time and everything. But I'm like, no, I've been in those shoes where was stuck in a year contract that was no longer like serving me, and not even serving me at all, right? And I paid thousands and thousands of dollars for something, and I was stuck in a contract that didn't benefit me. And for me, it's like I want to ease my customers' minds. Like if you don't feel like I'm servicing your needs, just give me a 30-day guarantee, 30-day what do you call it, notice, and we could cancel the contract. Now obviously it depends on what type of work it is, but typically, for example, like the life coaching type of stuff, or like the battle to booming programs, the custom made, where it's like month to month, um, those are typically I charge usually more for that. But the good thing is you could cancel, or pause it, as long as you give a 30 days notice. Um, I don't always charge, I think, Holy Spirit. I don't always charge a lot for that, but there are speculations. I use wisdom and judgment because there are people out there who take advantage of my kindness and they just want to get the free stuff and never want to pay. So trust me, I know all the tricks. I know people who would, you know, hire me for a little bit, take all my stuff, and then make it theirs, and then start their own business and utilize my contracts, my programs, and make it theirs. And you know, and everyone's like, well, you need to sue them, you need to do this. And I'm like, it's not even worth it for me. If they have to take my stuff, if they have to steal my proprietary information for them to run their business, then I really feel sorry for them, right? Because the good thing about me is I serve a limitless God. And so there's always new ways, new methods that the Lord downloads to me. And even if they take something that I created many years ago and they try to run with it, the anointing that comes with that program is not there, because that program was birthed in my darkness, birthed in my midnight hour. Does that make sense? And so they could play with it, but the power that comes with the program won't be there because that was instilled in me, not them. I hope that making sense. And I feel like the reason I'm sharing this with you is because some of y'all may feel a certain way because maybe you guys created something and someone took off and, you know, copied it or mimicked it or whatever, and just took all your hard work and maybe even stolen your program and cut you out of it. Just know that you just have to move on, forgive people, move on with your life, and just know that God's going to give you a new idea. Now I digress. Okay, but bottom line is make it a sure bet, make it a good thing. Like they have no worries of working with you. Um, and then also another thing I want to say is customer testimonials are very powerful. So they're the modern day equivalent of a good reputation in the marketplace. But remember, authenticity is key. So, getting customer testimonials, having people contact your previous customers, that type of stuff. Um, there are unfortunately a lot of fake reviews that you could buy. Like, for example, I know at one point they were like, well, someone reached out to me that they said they'll increase my followers on social media and they'll like everything that I post. I'm like, that does not, like, how is that even a smart decision business wise? Like, I want real sales. I don't want pretend sales. Does that make sense? So make sure that if you do have testimonials or if you do have reviews for a product on Amazon, that they're legit. They're real reviews, not something that you purchase. All right. And the last tip I have for you is simplify the buying process. The Bible often speaks of making complex things simple. Jesus' teaching were profound, but then they were accessible. So this should also be reflected in how we sell. So you make it as easy as possible to purchase for you, offer various payment options, streamline of purchasing steps. Don't have like 50 steps to work with you. I used to have like a bunch of questionnaires because I wanted to feel important, like multiple things, multiple steps. Like one thing I've learned is less is more. So simplify everything as much as possible. Make it easy for them to purchase, right? And always look, especially when you're first starting out, make it easy for them to purchase. And always look for ways to remove any potential hurdles. So, um, there's a lot of things. I mean, like, for example, landing pages or lead magnet pages. Like, you could create this fancy thing, or you could just use a Google Doc to capture your lead information. I mean, I had to really like simplify my ways of doing things because I'm a mother of two busy girls who are only in school half days. So I really had to like ask God, give me wisdom, give me efficiency, help me to be productive. And I can make things a lot more fancier, and I could probably, look review all my content like 500 times, but I only do it like 2 or 3 times because I don't have time. And if it comes out imperfect, at least progress is better than perfection, right? So then that progress is better than nothing. So I'd rather just put it out there. Yeah, there's some misspelled errors. I can't tell you how many times I've done that or said the wrong thing, put the wrong dates. I mean, at this point, I don't care. I just need to get it out there and do the best that I can based on the resources that I have as far as time wise, and just continue to do what God told me to do and still take care of my very first ministry, which is my family, right? So think of Hebrews 13:2. It says, do not forget to show hospitality to strangers. In a way, every customer is a guest we're welcoming into our business. So be hospitable, show them that you care, be intentional. Make it easy for them to work with you. Like that, I can't tell you how many times, like, like I remember if they're like, you're like a girl next door. Like I might have all the knowledge in the world. I might have all these experiences. I might be way ahead of you or might not be way ahead of you. But regardless of who you are, like if you're a client, a prospect, someone, an enemy, I treat them all the same, right? I show them love, the love of God. Treat them with respect, even if they took advantage of me. And you could be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, right? You could still be gentle, but still be a steward of God's gifting and God's resources that He bestowed upon you. But you need to continue to remove pride. You need to continue to humble yourself and continue to serve them, right? By making it easy on them. Don't think it's like I always say before back then, get off your high horse. Like you're not that important. Um, and sometimes, especially as you become really successful, which I remember at one point I was I mean, I would had meetings left and right, and I was just so like short with people, meaning I only had I have 5 minutes, go ahead, and I was kind of rude almost. And that's not good. Like, you don't want to be rude to people, especially prospects, right? You want to take your time with them, make them feel they're the most important person in the world at that moment, regardless of how much things you have in your agenda. Obviously, be a steward of your time, but you still have to be very intentional. I hope I'm making sense, right? This is really important. Simplify the buying process and make them feel like they're your number one um, agenda. Okay, so as we conclude this episode, remember these 3 tactics, right? Serve rather than sell, uphold integrity, and simplify the process. These aren't just business strategies, they are principles rooted in biblical wisdom. All right, so hope those tips helped you. If you guys have any questions, you could reach me on estherpreneur.com or favorinwealth.com. If you guys are interested in any business coaching or life coaching or sales training or leadership development, I'm always a phone call away, or you could email me at edna@favorinwealth.com, or you could reach me on my website. Thank you for joining me today. And if this episode inspired you, please share it with your friends, family, enemies, coworkers, whoever. This is one of the methods for me to reach you and the nations, and I need your help. I don't have a big, huge marketing team to promote my stuff. It's all word of mouth, and it's all through referrals, and it's all through just God speaking to people. So please, if you feel led to, share it with your people. And if it's going to be beneficial to them, I would love to share more of what God has put on my heart as far as ways to grow business His way. So until next time, let's continue to grow not just in business, but in wisdom and in character. That's it for this week's episode. And I want you all to keep shining. Blessings. Take care. Thanks for joining us this week on Estherpreneur. Make sure to visit our website, favorinwealth.com, for more information on our services. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you simply tell a friend about the show, that would help me out too. Also, check out my book, The Ugly Side of Sales, available on Amazon, where I share 7 of my secrets on how to win and grow business the right way. Until next time, keep shining.